Yeah, no, I wanted to get tonight.
All right, I'm going to press the button. So, the girls here. When the light comes on, everybody listening? When the light comes on, that means we're on television. So I'm going to press. You think you don't put it on television?
Yes.
So, where's basketball? Where's the basketball team? We're missing the fourth grade basketball team. Okay, so I'm going to press the button, and then we're going to be on television. So at that time, you'll be ready, okay? You'll see the light go on. So I'm pressing the button now.
If you can just, if you have copies that you can generate for everybody.
3, 4. We have 4. We have 4.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Go home, go to sleep.
All right. Luke, feel better.
Thanks, hey, Lou. Feel better. I'm sure you get yours.
So that we're ready.
He's been sick for 2 days, but I wanted him to come and we had some things to discuss in executive. And Eric Kamala went to his daughter's concert at school. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 23rd, 2018 meeting of the Borough of Oakland's council meeting. And we have some presentations tonight, so it's exciting. But we are missing some of the children. But at this time, I will ask for a roll call.
Mayor Schwager?
Here.
Councilman Bialy?
Here.
Oh,
Councilman Knapp?
Here.
Councilman Kamala absent. Councilman Levy absent. Councilman Pignatelli?
Here.
Councilman Talamini?
Here.
there are motions.
I make a motion to excuse Councilman Kamal and Councilman Levy.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So at this time, I ask you to look at your cell phone and turn it off. We'll put it on vibrate. And I also ask that you refrain from texting because it is discourteous, disruptive, and could be construed as a violation of the Open Public Meetings Act. Is everybody looking at their cell phones? Frank, you have your cell phone off? Oh, okay. So, call Frank down. So you will notice that some of us, we are now going paperless eventually. And you will see some computers popping up. So I see Councilman Pignatelli and Councilman Knapp this is our first meeting with the computer, and we still have paper, so I'm still using paper.
Had to teach me how to use a laptop.
Oh.
What are the cards on the screen?
So, at this time, I ask you to stand to salute to the flag and remain standing for a moment of silence. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And during the moment of silence, our prayers and wishes are for the children from Paramus who had to deal with that horrendous accident, and also for the students in Texas who had to deal with another horrible event. Be seated. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law, duly announced, advertised, and posted in the municipal building. And as we start each meeting, I give my mayor's report. This Sunday, well, this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, and this Sunday is the Memorial Day Parade. It begins at 1 p.m. Councilman, is it Dogwood or Grove with the meeting?
Dogwood.
Dogwood, thank you. 1 p.m. And the parade runs along Route 202. And then right after the parade, we will have the ceremony in Veterans Park which should be somewhere between 2:30. Friday, June 1st is Comedy Night for Cancer. It's being sponsored by the Mothers Club of Oakland. It will be at the American Legion Hall, and the proceeds to benefit Oakland families affected by cancer. Saturday, June 2nd is the annual Oakland Fever Pitch, hosted by the Oakland Rec Commission, and we'll be celebrating all the teams of baseball and softball, and this is at the rec field, and the parade is starting at 9 a.m. Tuesday, June 26th, Oakland Franklin Lakes Rotary Club has their annual raffle at Portobello Restaurant with the prize, top prize is $20,000. Monday, July 9th is the 2018 annual Hereby golf outing. Now, you wonder why I get all this information. If your organization, if your townwide organization wishes to have me announce your event at the council meeting, please email me or text me or call me, and I would be very happy to announce your organization's charitable event. You can always text or you can always email me at mayorschwager@oakland-nj.org. Now, the Annual Carnival, which is going to be running this year from Wednesday, June 13th to Saturday, June 16th. And unlike in the past, fireworks are going to be on Friday night, June 15th, with a rain date on Saturday, June 16th, and that's because last year, when the fireworks were rained out, we could not do it on that Sunday because it was Father's Day. I guess that's another computer coming on.
Yes, Patrick.
Okay, so that is the Townwide Carnival, and they're starting to sell wristbands for $20, and that'll be at Remax. They're available at Remax. And what's very exciting is the Oakland's Junior Police Academy. And it's youth entering 7th grade, 8th grade, or 9th grade in September. Then you could be eligible to join the Junior Academy. And you learn about the excitement and challenges of law enforcement. And it runs from July 23rd to July 28th. It's 1 week from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. If you're interested or you want to find out some more information, you can call the police department or email the police detective bureau. So that's very exciting, and it's always nice if you are interested at all in anything with government service, community service, law enforcement. You're entering 7th grade, 8th grade, or 9th grade in September. You are eligible to participate. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wish to speak?
You don't want to take care of the girls first?
What?
You don't want to take care of them first?
No, they want to listen to you.
No, they don't. 2 meetings ago,
Yes.
or actually last meeting, the Van Allen house.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I suggested to take it down. The woman that came here, who keeps telling us it's not going to cost me any money, says, oh, I didn't mean the house, I meant the mill.
The stream house.
The stream house, right? Now, when talking about it, John brought up, which I never realized, is the outside shell of that stream house is wrapped in asbestos. Am I correct?
Is an asbestos opponent in the outside shell.
Thank you. And that outside shell is falling into the stream. The stream is going into the lake. And a lot of these people here swim in that lake. So I
Maybe
think,
not after your speech.
So I think our main concern is to try to resolve that problem as soon as possible.
Yes, we are.
Now, I mentioned to you that because every time I say take something down, oh, they're gonna penalize this, we're gonna pay fines, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And I mentioned that I caught it on TV, that one of the towns in New Jersey had a problem similar to ours, so they turned around and said, you know what, we'll sell the property. By selling the property, there's no fines, there's no nothing. Now, there was an article in, I think it's Tuesday's Record.
Record,
Right?
yes.
stating the same thing. So now for I don't know how many years and how much money we spent on that stream house, if you wind up selling the thing,
The problem is,
here we go. Go ahead.
there's always a problem,
Yeah,
a legal technicality.
yeah, go ahead.
The properties are conjoined, so I don't think you can sell a piece of the property because it's considered one unit. It was done by a former council person, for some reason, so both properties are part of the same. I don't think you can, correct me if
So
I'm
both of
wrong,
them.
Brian, you can't just sell off for the historical.
There's two issues that you have.
Go ahead,
All
Mike.
right, before we get to the historical aspect, if the Van Allen house is on the borough's recreation open space inventory with DEP, it's, I'm not going to say impossible, but highly unlikely that you would be able to transfer that property because you would have to provide, depending on what DEP's mindset is and what regulations, 3 to 5 to 10 times the amount of equivalent property. With regard to the historic designation, if you could sell it, you got to sell it subject to that historic designation. There were also previous grants that were utilized for that. So there may not be sufficient funds to repay those grants, which may be triggered as a result of the sale.
I once told you, when I want to do something, I fight dirty. Okay? Now,
Remember, we have girls here, young girls.
now, if you sell the property,
You only want to sell half the property.
all right, no, sell the whole thing.
Oh, you want to sell the Van
Yeah.
Allen house?
Oh, yeah, because this is gonna drag on forever then. Sell the whole thing, move the artifacts down to the library in one of the rooms, all right? Now, that'll pay for the grant you gotta give the money back on. You'll have a piece of property on the tax rolls, and you got rid of a monster that's been there for, I can't tell you, since I'm in this town, and I'm here 45, 46 years, okay? I mean, enough is enough. It's time to turn around. I remember a couple of years back, certain people ran on getting rid of just the stream house. Well, the stream house is still here.
Because we can't just do half the property.
Well, then you know what? Then you ain't run it. You do what you have to do. If they can do it down south, whatever state did it just now in New Jersey, I assure you, you can too. There's always a way to do something if you want to do it, Mayor. Okay, and don't tell me no, please. All right? Anyway, putting everything else aside, I suggest, because I remember when we found mold in this place, it was close to, what, 3, 4 months? Remember?
Yes.
All right? Meanwhile, I got a building that's contaminating the stream and the lake. So I think we better move faster than we did on this project.
Mr. Kunz, will you follow up on that to make sure that it's not going in with the stream and the lake?
Yeah, I'll follow up with Margaret Hickey.
Thank you.
And just as a reminder to everybody too, at the last meeting, we had issued her a contract to come up with the cost estimate for the project. I know she's actively working on that. And today we also took qualification statements on the Phase 2 exterior renovations to the Van Allen house. So we're moving along on both of those fronts right
And
now.
at what cost to the taxpayer?
That's what Ms. Hickey's gonna be treating.
Okay, I'll wait. All right?
TBD, to be decided.
Yeah, all right. I hope it don't take another 45 years. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to speak on
I
anything?
know you just want to look at the meeting.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to
Mayor,
close. Yes.
if I can share, I spoke to the post commander from the American Legion, and I asked about the parade coming up, and I don't know if you've looked at the weather report.
Rain.
The weather report said it's 80% chance of rain on Sunday.
But I thought it was in the late afternoon.
40. It's 80 now?
It was 80 when I went on, at 5 o'clock I went on and said 80% chance of rain. So, and Ron said to me that decision will be made on Sunday morning as to the weather, because we all know the weatherman is not right all the time. So the decision will be made on Sunday morning as to whether the parade goes on. And if the rain is too heavy to have a parade, there still will be a ceremony at the American Legion Hall.
Oh, not in Veterans Park in the rain.
Not in Veterans Park, it'll be at the American Legion Hall.
Okay.
Just wanted to let everyone
And
know, just in case.
we'll
But we know
post
it's
it.
not gonna rain, right, guys?
And then we would post it on Facebook and our website?
Yeah, we'll make arrangements. if
Okay.
necessary.
Thank you. Did we close?
No.
Motion to close.
Motion closed.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of minutes from the May 1st, 2018 budget.
So moved.
Second.
Any corrections? If none, roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Knapp.
Yes.
Councilman Pinkatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Minutes from the May 9th, 2018 executive session.
So moved.
Second.
And if there's going to be any discussion, it has to be an executive session. Will there be any discussion? None, roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Knapp.
Yes.
Councilman Pinkatelli.
Abstain.
Councilman
I wasn't there.
Talamini.
Yes.
May 9th, regular meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any changes? Not roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Knapp.
Yes.
Councilman Pinkatelli.
Abstain.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Now, we have a presentation for the 4th grade girls basketball team. I don't see them. So, what do you think we should do? We don't have our liaison either. I'm gonna hold off to maybe later if they do come, and if they don't come, maybe another night, okay? We'll reschedule it. So now, we have the Girl Scout Troop Kindness Rocks Project. Who is going to speak? Are you all coming up? I hope. Come up to the podium. The microphone is in the ceiling.
Just speak.
Right there.
Do you want them to stand that way or facing this way?
No, the camera's both ways.
Okay.
And the microphone's in the ceiling, so get closer to the microphone. And when you come up to the podium, you have to give us your name and your address. Just give your first name.
I'm Isabella Jack. I'm Isabella A, since there's another Isabella. So, hello, we are Girl Scout Troop 95388 from Manitoba Elementary School. We have been working on a project called Kindness Rocks to earn our Bronze Award.
My name is Emily, and Carpowich, and the Bronze Award is the highest level service award a junior level Girl Scout can earn.
My name is Kylie Anton, and the Kindness Rock Project is a project to spread kindness around the town and to brighten people's day when they find a rock. My name is Skylar, and we started by painting our own rocks with kind words or phrases as part of our troop meetings. Then we placed them in a Kindness Rocks garden outside of our school.
Hello, my name is Ava. Next, we announced our rock garden to our school. We then invited the other junior Girl Scouts to our junior jam event so they could paint their own rocks to start a Kindness Rocks project at their school.
Finally, we placed rocks all around town for other people to find. We created a Facebook group, Kindness Rocks Oakland NJ. So when someone finds a rock, they can post a picture there.
My name's Alexa, and we invite all of you to go on our Facebook page, find a rock that interests you, and use the clue to find it. We challenge you to help us spread kindness and keep this project going.
That's lovely. Are you going to take a group picture of that?
Yes.
And we need the Facebook page.
Thank you.
Yeah, what's the Facebook page?
I think they said it.
Any questions?
To very clearly come up to the podium and tell everybody the name of the Facebook page.
And it's on your page.
Say it slow.
Kindness Rocks Oakland NJ.
Kindness Rocks Oakland NJ. That is the Facebook page. And it's open to everybody to go on and see all about the rocks and the garden and the kindness. And I went up to Manitou for the garden, and it's great. But it was so cold that day.
Yes.
And now it's hot. So, does anybody on the council have any questions for the girls? Anybody in the audience want to ask the girls about the garden and the rocks and the project?
I saw a couple of the rocks, and I was wondering what they were, so I'm happy that I found out what they were, and I'll make sure I go on and make some comments and find some more rocks. when I saw him, I knew it had something to do with a Girl Scout, that had Girl Scout written all over it. And I'm happy to see a couple of my basketball players here too.
But they're not from this group? They're not from the 4th grade basketball team?
No, but there's some basketball players on. Girl Scouts do many things.
I know, I was a Girl Scout, I know that.
I think the
But,
football team is coming now.
Yeah.
but I would like the other Girl Scouts from the troop to come up and introduce yourselves. Why don't you come up and introduce yourselves?
If you want, girls.
They throw rocks. They're gonna throw rocks at us.
Hi, Madeline.
My name is Sydney Zerfin.
Hi.
My name is Michelle.
Hello, Michelle.
My name is Brooke.
Hi, Brooke.
I'm Isabella R.
Hi. So, and does anybody have any questions? Do you have any of the rocks?
Can I see some of the rocks?
Can you hold them up so they all see it on the television?
Oh.
Those are nice. And what did they say?
One of them says be kind, be yourself, and this is just a picture.
Oh,
Beautiful.
lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yay.
Does anyone have, being you guys did such a great job with the rocks in the rock garden, does anyone have any idea how old your rocks are? Or how old they could be?
Older than John?
I knew that was coming.
They could be thousands of years old. So, just remember that. Okay, I think we have, look up the...
I think we have the 4th grade basketball girls championship.
Yes.
You ready for your certificate?
Yes.
This is the players and coaches who are part of a championship team for the 4th grade girls NWBP Bantam Division 2018. And so we'll start with the coaches. Danielle Walker. Congratulations. Doing this.
Thank you.
Are there any other coaches coming? I have Janice and George. Janice? Here you go. And thank you for doing all this and for volunteering to do this. And now we have the girls. Danielle. Pull. Oh, okay. Morgan. Go. Avery. Congratulations to you. And Victoria. Congratulations. Sierra. Emma. Allison, and Demi Lynn. Thank you. Now I assume the coaches would like to speak. I'm leaving it to you.
We started off in a tournament in,
I think they may have to move by the mic.
Yeah, come over to the mic.
It's in the ceiling.
It's in the ceiling.
It's that white box right above your head.
We started off our season in a tournament in the fall, and we were pretty successful there. We made it to the finals, but we did not win there, but we started off very well. And then we proceeded to have a 9-0 season, and then we finally had our first loss. And we felt what it was like to lose a game, and we didn't like that. So we battled ahead, and we winded up with finishing our record with 14-2-1. And the team we beat we tied against and lost against. And then we beat them in the final championship game. We came to play that day. And I'm super proud of all of them, and they all developed as players and athletes, and they're all good students in school, and they work hard on their grades. And we look forward to the next season. And we want to bring home another championship.
If one of the Girl Scouts could tell them what they missed about the rock garden. You want to come up and just tell them? Sure. What your presentation was?
So I'm pretty positive you are all students at Manitou. So I'm also pretty positive you've seen the garden of rocks outside of our school. Well, what that basically is a way to spread kindness and joy to other people, because eventually they're going to end up somewhere you may not even expect it. They're an organization that sort of is just to spread kindness to others by painting quotes or nice pictures and such on rocks. And then you could find a rock and you have to either keep it and make another one to replace it, or you can put that rock you found somewhere else.
Do you want to show some of the rocks? Some of the girls brought rocks. This is what it's all about.
Yeah,
We're having all the girls here. Thank you.
Our girls created a tradition that we had to do before every single game. And if we didn't do it, I don't know, we might have lost the game. So we had to do it. I think they want to show you what they do.
Oh, please.
All right, come on, bring it in. Hands in. Ready? One, two, three. Did you get pictures? Mommies and daddies, did you get your proud babies?
And you know you're on television.
Lower, yeah, thank you. Hold them up nice. Nice job. Avery.
Great, thank you. Now, I know you might want to leave, but you're welcome to stay. Or you could leave at any time.
It's very exciting.
It is, come on.
Nobody stays.
Okay. Oh, they're leaving.
Thank you, girls.
Everybody goes.
Oh, everybody goes. We're excited.
Oh, so we don't deliver, sorry. We don't deliver.
Thank you, Council. Thank you,
The first girls basketball coach was?
No.
Not even a meeting.
You're kidding. Oh, you should have said something.
I'll tell you that.
I was going to announce, I would have announced it. Well, while they're leaving, we just found out that one of the first basketball coaches in rec was Frank Monaco.
Mommy was in, and I went down because my daughter was there, and the girls were fighting for the ball. Hey, so I said, oh, stop, you can't do that. And that we wind up coaching together.
There you go.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, thank you.
Thank you.
Back again.
Okay, we have raffle license 1328. This is for the PTSO Indian Hills High School for raffle on October 13th, 2018. 50% cash proceeds, and it's for project graduation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Raffle license 1329, PTSO Indian Hills High School. Again, raffle on October 13, 2018 at Indian Hills High School. Raffling off 30 baskets. Again, it's for project graduation.
So moved.
Second.
Any, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Raffle license 1334, that's on the days, I don't know, did you get it on the computer?
Well, I emailed
No.
everybody.
Oh, no, it's not on the computer? It's a raffle license for March 10th, 2019, 50% of the cash proceeds, and this is for seniors Indian Hills graduation.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is my appointment?
Mhm.
We got a citizen leadership form for somebody in addition to the green team. Dana, Andrew, you all have a copy of the citizen leadership form at your seat. And Dana wishes to be a part of our green team, and thank you. And that is my appointment. Resolutions, I will read them if anybody wishes to pull any out, otherwise we'll do it as a consent agenda. 18215, authorized recreation refund to Brian Rowan, 21 Winona Avenue, $62. 18216, authorized Boswell Engineering for the preparation of the wastewater management plan amendment, additional work, not to exceed $60,000. 18217, authorized Boswell for the water system asset management plan to prepare a water system asset management plan not to exceed $105,000. 18218, authorize a refund of taxes due to overpayment, Block 901, Lot 37, in the amount of $6,685.24. 18219, again, it's for overpayment of taxes, Block 4301, Lot 34, in the amount of $6,175.74. 18220, it is a refund of taxes for Block 1606, Lot 7, and the amount of $2,292.72. 18221, to hire a seasonal laborer for the Department of Public Works, Thomas McPhee, effective date May 28th, 2018, at $12 an hour. 18222, approve interlocal agreement for deputy registrar services, and that is the substitute when Karen is unavailable, and it will be for the Northwest Bergen Regional Health Commission. We have to have a substitute available in the absence of our registrar.
And I'm sorry, Mayor, I just want to point out too that that agreement is specific to actually this week when Karen's away. The Regional Commission is going to consider whether they would like to entertain a more permanent arrangement after that. They're going to see how this week goes. So I did just want to make that clear that this is a temporary arrangement at the present time.
Temporary.
A permanent resolution would be better because we've gone through several
Yes.
deputies.
Yes, we have.
That's why I just smiled when I saw this.
So the point being, if it's something that they're willing to do and we can work out a sufficient price for that, we would bring it back on another resolution for a longer term.
This one is for $30 an hour for hours spent and travel time not to exceed 1,300. And one was added to the table today, and that is Resolution 18223, and that is to terminate the contract with T.R. Weniger having to do with the Ramapo River Restoration Project. Work was supposed to begin within 20 days of the contract. All work was supposed to be completed within 180 days. We are terminating due to the breach of contract because it's been more than 2 years since the execution of the agreement, and they're in default, and that's what this resolution is. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any pulled out? If not, roll call.
Councilman Bialy?
Yes.
Councilman Knapp?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
We had a final adoption of 18 Code 767, prohibit the sale of marijuana. This has been tabled for further research on the bill, and we just sent out a copy of the bill, and I encourage any of the residents who would like to read the bill. It's called Senate Number 830, the 200, it looks like this. And you can get it online. It is within the 218th legislature. It is Senate Bill Number 830. It is sponsored by Senator Nicholas Guattari from District 22. Not everybody had a chance to fully read the proposed bill. So it's still tabled. Is there anybody who wishes to remove this from the table at this time? Then it's still tabled for further. Please, I encourage everybody to read the proposed bill. Do I have to vote? Do I have to
You don't
vote?
need to vote. If there's no motion to remove it from the table, it stays tabled until further action.
Can we talk about it?
Why don't you talk about, well, if you want to open it for discussion, Mayor, that's your prerogative.
Would anybody like to speak about it?
I would.
I will open it. Yes.
I just want to point out, it was pointed out to us earlier this evening, that we don't have to take immediate action on it. Even if the bill is passed, within the bill, it says that municipalities have 1 year in which to enact something. So it's not like it needs to be done immediately. We still have time, even after it's, if it is enacted, to come back before us. Thank you.
Yeah, there's so many changes. I mean, this is a draft of the bill. And if you look at the bill, and I highlighted a lot of the bill, and it tells you that there are cross-outs, there are underlining, meaning that they're still adding and deleting. So it is prudent on our part, and it really is very, and I thank the council for being so diligent to read the bill and wait for further research on what this is going to happen. So thank you. So it's still tabled. So now we have introduction of 18 Code 769, Title 39 Enforcement for Crossroads Shopping Center. And this is was discussed at the last meeting. In case you don't know what the Crossroads Shopping Center, known as Walgreens. So is there a motion to introduce the bill?
So moved.
Second?
Not the bill, the ordinance.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy?
Yes.
Councilman Nat?
Yes.
Councilman Pimentelli?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
And when is the final hearing?
June 13th.
So this will be heard on June 13th. Work session item 2018 capital program.
Thank you, Mayor. In your packet is a memo on a spreadsheet that I prepared, just kind of keying off our capital discussions during the budget process and the draft spreadsheet that was there. I'd updated that based on our discussions and some additional requests that had come in from the departments. So we have a draft for you to consider and to initiate a discussion on basically giving direction to myself and finance officers so that we can move ahead with preparing the necessary capital and bond ordinances. So just to recap, the program as proposed would be approximately for about 3.7 million, subject to any further discussion that you want to have or modifications that you want to make. There are a couple of things that we're still trying to nail down in terms of cost estimates and a couple of other little modifications that may come up. One of them is, I neglected to put on there, the OCC was looking for a new system for the TV studio here. That's about $15,000, so it's not major. And a couple of other things. The sprinkler project for the senior center, if you recall, we had withdrawn a request for supplemental funding on that last year while we took another look at the project. Councilman Bialy and I have a meeting with the Community Development Block Grant tomorrow night, and what we're going to be looking to do is kind of amend our request so that we can try to get more money for that project. So what you'll see, and it's not included on the sheet, but you'll probably see in a final version, so the additional funding request to be added to this year. Okay, yes, I'm sorry, fire sprinklers, not lawn sprinklers, the new fire sprinkler system.
Right, I was going to say.
So this is subject to a little bit of revision, but it certainly gives you, I think, a good order of magnitude of what we're looking at. And essentially, it would be authorizing about $2.6 million in debt A large portion of that, I want to point out, is for the Patriots Way Bridge, and that's backed by a $500,000 grant currently. So the figure I cited on the debt authorized is not net of that grant. So your actual amount of debt incurred would be correspondingly less. I also want to remind the council that we have a second grant application in with the DOT. And I know John's here, our engineer tonight. He can get into a little bit more detail if needed. But to my understanding, Boswell's almost done with the plans and specs, and those would then go down to the state for their review and approval prior to going out to bid.
So the residents around for River Reserve, remember that.
Okay. I did ask Boswell for an updated cost estimate, and pretty much verifies last year's amount. So the amount that I gave you in here is, we're actually going to be able to reduce that by about $100,000 or so. But I think with that, we can open it up for discussion and any comments or questions that you have.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
On the Patriots Way or other items?
No, on the capital plan.
Okay.
Yes.
I see we're increasing it by a little over $100,000. Where would that money be coming from?
Well, $100,000 in terms of your cash needs, there is a $900,000 allocation for the capital improvement fund that we put in this budget. $200,000 of that being earmarked for a replacement ladder truck, which we're still going to be trying to secure a grant on. The rest of it comes out of for the down payment money that we would need, comes out of existing fund balance in the capital improvement fund and capital surplus funds. There is sufficient cash on hand to be able to meet those obligations.
So we're not using more money from surplus. I know it's not.
No, you're not impacting this year's budget at all.
Okay. On the police cell block upgrades.
Yes.
We're increasing that from $300,000 to $360,000. Are all these improvements mandated? Everyone? I mean,
I think the cell block is.
Did we see it? Did you see it?
The cell block upgrades are mandated.
That's a requirement.
I haven't looked at them myself, but that's what's been reported to me by the police department on more than one occasion, that our current cells do not comply with the regulations. We've been getting waivers.
I mean, for $360,000, you could build a house. A small house, but you could build a house.
Yeah.
Well, we are. We're going to be housing people in our new cell block.
Very temporary.
Unfortunately for us, there are state mandates on this, and apparently we are not fulfilling the required.
$360,000?
That's the estimate at the current time.
These are people who are going to be in there 5, 8, 10, 12, 24 hours maybe.
You know, we've been given waivers, which are not unusual. You know, we're certainly not alone in that. You know, I'm sure when they were built in the 70s, 1980, they met all the regulations then. But you know, there's a potential liability there too.
Can we get an idea of what we're spending the money on? I mean, is there a little breakdown?
New beds.
Sure. Basically, it's everything new. The whole general idea is that it all has to be designed and constructed and outfitted in a way where nobody can harm themselves with anything. So there's nothing that somebody can use to cut themselves or tie something off on. You know, so it's kind of very specific to this type of thing.
And I think something has to be done in the ceiling too, right?
Well, the whole area, there's 3 rooms there, so the whole area is getting demolished and redone. So it's not just cells where you house the people. It's the processing area.
Yeah.
It's where they do their breathalyzer test.
Oh, okay.
I
thought it was just the cells.
No, it's not just, no, it's a cell block.
It's where they do their mug shots. The whole area is getting wiped out. And
I would suggest that each of the council people, if you have an opportunity, well, you could do it after tonight's meeting. Go into the police department and go to the cell block and you will see. And they will, take a little tour.
Well,
Don't get locked in though.
Well, the other thing I want to point out with that is
This is on the high side too.
This is the high side estimate. Okay. There's a range there that the architect worked up. So this is
and there's no grant. Did we look into grants?
I was just going to mention that. We do think there may be a community-based grant program out there, one that's been used to support infrastructure improvements for Wyckoff and Franklin Lakes police departments.
Oh, okay.
So that's a possibility to fund all of this, or at least a part of it.
So is there a deadline that we have to do this by, that we would have enough time to apply for a grant or no?
No, I don't think that there's a grant deadline with this
No, I mean,
organization.
upgrade deadline.
Well, we're already behind the 8 ball.
So I think if they see that we're
So
making.
no, we're not under some sort of state order. We have to have this accomplished.
But a lot of times if we show that we are starting, we're in the process.
Sure. Okay, the other one is on the cascade system.
Well, wait a minute, do you want to speak on the
Yeah, I
cell? Wait.
just wanted to say
You want
what-
to hear on the cell blocks?
On the cell blocks, Councilman Knapp, myself, and Councilman Levy were taken on a tour by Captain Sanitary several weeks back, and it's amazing. Captain Sanitary did not stop pointing out all the deficiencies we had as we walked through the cell block area, the photo area, all the areas involved, and it all has to do with the latest technology in holding and keeping prisoners, and even the bars on the cells are against regulation now, because the bars give you an opportunity to hang yourself. So it's all about keeping up with the latest regs and...
Well, it's unfortunately, I mean, again, the old saying, it's the price of doing business. I mean,
Exactly.
we have to, I understand we have to do it, I understand that. Mandated, they should be giving us money to do it, though. You know, if it's a mandate, they should be giving us money. Because they always fall back on, it's an expansion of an existing program. This way they don't have, because there is a law that says if it's a newly mandated program, the state has to provide the money. Well, I don't know what happened to that.
I'm glad still in place, but it refers to legislation.
Where does that money come from?
I'm glad Councilman Bialy clarified about the tour, because I was wondering why Councilman Knapp knew so much about the...
It's an excellent tour. You really should have take the opportunity.
It's good.
Well, I checked out the cells and I took the key with me then.
My other question is on the cascade system supplemental funding. So in 2017 capital program, we appropriated $45,000. Now we have to do an additional we never moved on it, Bob, is that it?
It was no. We haven't moved on it, and I believe the $6,000 is because the unit that was originally spec'd out has now been, that person's been disconnected, discontinued.
Okay.
And they went to the next, unless you know something different.
No, I think that was it. And bear in mind too, last year, we wound up adopting the capital program and doing the ordinances at the end of the year.
Okay.
So, you know, we're only essentially 5 months down the road from when we enacted the last capital program.
Okay.
Okay. So, and we are looking to use, and you'll be seeing over the course of the next month or so, probably use a national co-op for this. So there'll be a resolution to join, and there's a specific process we have to follow for that. I've had discussions with the fire chief about it.
Okay.
I'm mostly interested in a grant for the cell block upgrade, because that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
360 grand.
Unfortunately, it's a necessary.
I understand that, Mayor, but
Yeah.
I think I really want to see an aggressive search for a grant.
A
for that.
grant.
Yeah.
Grant committee, neither one is here.
No, Jim.
Everything gets run through Rich.
Rich?
That's it.
Okay.
Good, thank you.
All right, anybody have any new business?
Well, just, is everybody comfortable with this scope? And if there are a couple of little additions or changes, then we have the discretion to just kind of add them in and move forward with the bond and capital ordinance preparation?
And when do you think we'll be doing capital this time?
I'd like to have ordinances before you for introduction at the next meeting. It may wind up being the second meeting in June. I'll have to have a conversation with bond counsel.
So again, we probably won't have money available until August.
Yeah, that's fairly typical given our adoption schedule.
August would be good compared to last year.
Yeah. No, just because of the time.
Well, I wasn't here.
Just because of the time it takes to adopt the required ordinances. That's usually a couple of month process between the time that you initiate and the time the money is
Excellent.
available.
Okay. I just want to make sure prices keep going up, that we don't delay it any unnecessarily.
That's why I wanted to get this going early this year.
Great. Excellent. Thank you.
Anybody have any new business?
I have unfinished business.
Well, I have new business. Where does unfinished business come in?
It's not on the agenda.
All right.
So you go first, you outrank me.
All right, this is a good thing. This is, remember we all received an email from a candidate for Eagle Scouts, Jonathan Wang, sorry, Jonathan, and about a possible project. He was asking us for approval, and he's asking us for ideas. Well, he met with Mike Guadagnino at the Great Oak Park to talk about a project, and this is what I've been asked to read. This will be a new Boy Scout project initiated by Jonathan Wang. During past park cleanups, 2 historical signs from the Mullis Park days were found. One is a metal sign that announces FRG Park, and the other is a sign announcing lunch specials and $2.50 sandwiches that were once sold in Mullis Park. Both signs are large and at least 4 feet high and 6 feet wide. Jonathan will create frames for the signs and mounted them in specific locations at the park. Mike has been and will be assisting Jonathan on the type of framing, height of the signs, and the locations. These signs will add to the charm and historical preservation of Great Oak Park. More information about the signs will be discussed as the project and progress moves forward, but they're going to have to go, because is that what's in the sign ordinance, or they're going to have to go before?
It's inside the park though.
Right, so it will not be a problem.
Should not be.
Okay,
Should not
I just
be.
wanted to
It's
double
not-
check
it's
on that.
proven internal.
Does anybody have any opposition to that as an Eagle
Nice
Scout
idea.
project?
Not at all.
Nice
Okay.
idea.
And
Okay,
Mayor,
Jonathan.
Mayor, normally I know, and there's another scout, I think, that's working with the library.
Yes.
That's gonna be coming over here. Usually we require the scouts to come in front of us, make a little presentation, because there's a whole project plan that they have to develop and submit to the council. Would you like Jonathan to,
So Jonathan, I had
schedule a meeting?
invited Jonathan, I told Jonathan I'd be reading this tonight, I emailed him. So Jonathan, please let us know when you can come to a council meeting. We meet the 2nd and the 4th Wednesday evenings of the month. And you can present your project and any ideas, and come and present before us. Just let us know when you want to come. Okay, now unfinished business.
So a few months ago, actually, I think it was during budget presentations, the fire chief brought up about the building a garage behind Company One Firehouse. And the numbers that were given to us were significantly high. And the number we put in the budget was, I believe, around $400,000. Councilman Kamala asked that we go back and research that, which we did. And myself, John, the borough engineer, the architect, Rich, and the chief met, was it yesterday?
Yes.
We met yesterday. Basically started the project from scratch. So we think lock, stock, and barrel, everything that needs to be done can be done for what I originally thought, about $225,000. So I just wanted to bring that up, that we did take what Eric said serious. We went back, we researched it, and it's about half of what was
Well,
originally
that's good
thrown in
news,
there.
it's less than the cell blocks.
And if we need to, we can lock somebody in the garage.
Absolutely.
I have a question about it. I thought originally it was for a storage shed,
Well, originally.
and now it's a garage?
Yeah, because now we're going to store, we have, when the storage shed idea came up, we didn't have some of the vehicles we have now. So the thought process is, we have a Suburban that sits out in the weather and is getting weathered.
Fire department.
Fire department. So we want to put that in a garage. We want to bring boats down from Company 3 to Company 1 for quicker access, because it's really not practical to go up there and get a boat when somebody's in need. It takes 10 minutes to get through town, through traffic, one direction. And we're considering,
Lights and sirens stuff?
lights and siren, go ahead, 5 o'clock, let me know how you make out. And we're considering a bay for the OEM vehicle to keep that in better condition. And then we're going to loft it for storage, for equipment that
Now, doesn't this have to go, I know it's a municipal project, doesn't have to be approved by the planning board, but it has to go before the planning board, doesn't it?
It's a capital review, it's just a review and recommendation.
Right, still, so that does have to be done.
So this is a three-bay garage?
Correct.
And like, is it too deep? Is it?
24 by 40. Bless you.
Thank you, thank you.
And you have enough that it's gonna go behind the firehouse.
Back where the dumpsters are.
And it'll be the size for the trucks. We won't have to
That's-
buy
what
the
about
truck
the
and then
parking?
find out that the garage
Parking?
is too
We lose 2
small.
spots.
Oh, and so-
I'm sorry, Linda, what?
We won't get a truck and find out that the garage is too small. Okay.
So, again, I just wanted to bring up
Okay.
that, Eric had a concern,
Right.
which was valid,
Mhm.
400,000 for a garage.
Mhm.
I think we all lost our lunch on that.
Right.
But we went back and did our homework and
And then what's that including utilities-wise?
electric and gas.
I thought you said originally it was 150,000.
No.
Isn't that what you said at that meeting? I thought,
I said half of the
Oh,
400,
you
so I
did,
said
okay.
around 2.
all right.
So we're thinking 2.25 with everything included.
And what kind of construction is it gonna be?
It's a steel building. Steel, right, John?
Yes.
So it's prefab and
Prefab,
Yeah, it's a
pre-engineered.
pole barn, yeah.
And then, so getting the utilities out there, you're digging up the,
Well, we can get the utilities from Raritan Road, right behind the firehouse. Eventually, in another project, we will have to trench the parking lot to the building, because the generator's gonna go out next to the garage, and obviously need to be powered. The building will need to be powered, but that's a separate project.
so it would have a separate meter? Like, it would have a separate gas meter, separate
Yeah,
electric
it would
meter
have
on
its
it?
own.
So then it would need a separate generator, though?
No, we were talking about that last night. We may put a transfer switch at the garage, a manual transfer switch at the garage, and just basically plug the garage in, like I do for my house.
With a portable generator?
Well, or the generator that's right there. I mean, it would have an outlet on the side of it.
Okay.
And really, you're powering LED lights.
Right, yeah.
It's that and battery chargers. So it's really minimal what's out there,
Okay.
as far as that goes.
And
But
will
as
this
an
be,
electrician.
Will this be
you know,
built in place, Bob?
We can use your help. I'm sorry?
Will this building be built in place or built off-site and delivered?
Built in place.
Okay.
Okay,
So that was all. Just want to bring everybody up to date.
thank you. Any other unfinished business? Then we'll start with the committee reports. Do you want to start with your committee report?
Sure. Okay, public safety. So April statistics for the police department, total calls for service, I'll get back to you on. Motor vehicle stops, 428 motor vehicle stops for the month of April, 70 school checks, 24 fire calls, 77 ambulance calls, 26 traffic enforcement details, 25 radar details, 37 burglar alarms, and 41 motor vehicle crashes. Fire calls for the month of April, 24 fire calls, 3 drills, which equated to 611 hours from the department. Year-to-date, 161 calls, 13 drills, equating to 7,067 hours from our outstanding volunteers.
Absolutely.
First aid squad for the month of April, 73 calls, equating to 175 hours. And year-to-date, 325 calls for 750 hours, and a total of 5,763 hours spent on duty. So what that means is, unlike the fire department, we come and go as we please. If I want to go shopping, I want to go here, I go there, to out of town, I go. When the ambulance people are on duty, they're committing to a time that they have to remain in the borough. So they have to
6
stay in town, well, it's 6 or 12, right? Whichever
12 a
shift
week,
you want.
Yeah, 12 a week, yes.
So they have to stay in town and make themselves accessible. So that means no alcohol, and it means not leaving the borough limits. So it makes them really just on standby, is the best way to put it. And they've done almost 6,000 hours of that, which, again, is volunteer time. So that's another
That's great.
outstanding thing. Great Oak Park. Tom Vanderbeck is almost finished clearing trees from the Great Lawn. Some of the trees will remain for shade, and we hope to have that completed by the end of this week. Then the next step is to seed and grow the lawn, hence Great Lawn. Funds for the band shell have been collected, and the plan is to purchase and install the band shell spring of 2019.
Wow.
They've collected donations already, full donations?
Well,
Yeah.
what, the bank?
The bank gave quite a bit of it.
Which bank?
Visions.
Visions.
Credit union.
Yeah, John Bialy got it.
Also, there will be 2 memorial trees planted this summer on the Great Lawn. And the next meeting for Great Oak Park is June 4th. Municipal Alliance, I have a meeting on June 11th. And I just want to mention the police meeting we're having on June 6th. So we're having
Is that confirmed?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's confirmed and advertised. So we're having a meeting in this room with the leaders of the police department, and it's really for them to explain to us their manpower requests, their table of organization, their desires, what they want to do going forward with our police department. And I think it's good that I asked to have this meeting because I think it's good that everyone on the council at the same time have a chance to bounce questions and thoughts and ideas off Captain Sanitary at this point, and whoever he brings to the meeting, and also for Captain Sanitary to explain to us what, why, when, and how he wants to run a department. And so because we will be convened as a full council, the meeting has to be open to the public.
What time?
So it is 7 p.m. Wednesday, June 6th, in this room. Jacket's not required.
Is it going to be televised?
It's not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Maybe that should be televised,
Well, I'll
so
have to,
everyone in town understands.
we can. I have to. I'll have Eric talk to.
We'll have to see if they're available.
I'll see if Don Burns is available that day. All right, that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I attended the Board of Health meeting this past week. Just to let the public know that when an establishment has outstanding violations, we bring the owners before the Board of Health to explain why. If you'd like to know the names of those establishments, you could call the Board of Health. We actually conduct a hearing to make sure that they comply in the future with all the regulations. I wasn't able to attend the fire department meeting because the first aid squad had a mandatory training. And that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
What happens when there are such violations? They don't close down the facility?
No, I mean, as you know, I used to be an inspector.
Right.
Now that I'm retired. And they've changed the procedure now. Before, the inspector was given a lot of latitude on the posting of whether it's satisfactory or conditional. You really can't close down an establishment on the spot unless there's imminent danger of someone dying from the food. You have to go to court and get an order, as you understand, I'm sure. But the Board of Health has a standard operating procedure here that I don't know if any other town even has it. That we bring them before the board to explain why these violations exist. So there's a satisfactory posting and conditional satisfactory. Conditional satisfactory, they get 2 or more in a 12-month period. We bring them before the board, and we want to know why, and then we ask them to give us a corrective action.
No, thank you.
Yeah, it's very...
Thanks for your service.
Do we let the public know that they got not such a good rating, like New York City does the ABC thing?
There is a posting at the establishment. The law used to say it needed to be posted near the public entrance. Now it doesn't say that. But the Board of Health here in Oakland is considering an ordinance in which the posting would be required at the public entrance.
What's on the posting?
It's either satisfactory or conditional satisfactory. Conditional satisfactory is that there's a number of violations that warrant them to take a corrective action plan.
I think that's important because the Board of Health could be digging their heels in, understandably, but I may choose not to go there because there's specific issues. But if we don't know about it, the public, what good is it?
Correct.
So-
And I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm told the postings are advertised in the record.
They are, they're there.
Yeah, they're there. So you really could do that. Or actually, when you go to an establishment, you can ask to see their latest inspection report, if you want, number one. Number two, you could call the health department before you go out to eat and find out what their rating is.
When I was liaison to the Board of Health, I sat in on a couple of the, when the owners came in, and it was very helpful to the owners. Sometimes they didn't understand why they were being cited, and they just needed more clarification, and they come and they got the information that they needed, and it helped them improve their service.
Absolutely.
I thought it was a really great thing that the Board of Health was doing by making the people who fail come in and get spoken to.
Yep. Thank you. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman?
Yeah, on top of it, I just want to throw one more. We don't want our establishments in Oakland to get bad reputations. So we'll do everything, I'm sure Pat's agreeing with this, everything we can to help them along.
Absolutely.
And make sure
Absolutely.
that they do the right thing and abide by the rules. That's all we ask.
And our inspector said the main part of their job is to teach. It's not to hit them over the head with a summons book.
Right.
The main part of their job is education. And that's what they try to do every time they go in. Thank you, John.
Okay.
Councilman?
Yes, seniors, June calendar will be posted on the borough website tomorrow, and tomorrow is also a senior club meeting at the senior center. Just a note that we all know up here, but just in case any of the seniors don't know, next Thursday is Rose's retirement celebration and reception. It'll be on May 31st, Thursday, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Please stop by and say goodbye, give Rose a hug, and have a cup of a coffee. She'll be leaving us at the end of the month. And we wish her many happy and healthy years of retirement. Nancy Krause from the Environmental Commission reached out to me and asked me, and this is for the seniors, if we may have any seniors in town who have a passion for the environment, and asked if they would like to join any one of our commissions, the Shade Tree, the Environmental Commission, or the Green Team. So I'm just putting that out there. Any seniors in town who would like to give a little bit of their time and serve on one of these boards. DPW. I have a bittersweet notice to share with everyone, and it's about somebody who is hidden in the woodwork, but has for 37 years brought Oakland the real work environment that we need from somebody dedicated to what he does. And I'm talking about Jerry Kastner. Jerry Kastner has been with the DPW since 1981. He's got 37 years of dedicated service, and I've just listened to a little bit of his accomplishments over the years. He began his career within our Buildings and Grounds Division. He quickly worked his way through our ranks and was promoted to the position of Senior Public Works Repairer in 1990. And at that time, he began accumulating college credits while attending classes after hours. Before the end of 1996, he successfully completed the required curriculum and all state exams to obtain the following NJDEP certifications: Wastewater Treatment Operator, S2, Wastewater Collection System, C3, Water Treatment Operator, W2, and Water Distribution System Operator, W2. In 96 and 97, Jerry enrolled in the Rutgers Continuing Education Program, where he received his State of New Jersey Certified Public Works Manager's License. Shortly after, he was promoted to Chief Sewage Treatment Plant Operator, where he has worked since. While employed in that position, Jerry worked 365 days per year, 7 days per week, which is clearly reflective of his outstanding attendance record. During his 25-plus years within our wastewater division, only through his hard work and endless dedication has Jerry managed to keep our 3 aging facilities fully functional and NJDEP compliant. I spoke with Anthony. He says he is so proud of the work that Jerry has done, and he's so sorry to see him leaving, but he deserves to have many, many happy and healthy years of retirement. Congratulations, Jerry.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I think that everyone on the council sends there. And as I'm on the subject of the DPW, I have a proclamation, and this is whereas public works infrastructure, facilities, and services are of critical importance to the health, safety, economy, and overall well-being of our community. And whereas such facilities and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals, engineers, and administrators representing all levels of government, who are responsible for and must plan, design, construct, inspect, operate, and maintain the public works facilities essential to serve our citizens. And whereas the efficiency of the qualified and dedicated personnel whose staff public works functions is materially influenced by the people's attitude and understanding of the importance of the work they perform, and whereas it is of public interest that for our citizens, our civic leaders, and children to learn and understand the importance of vital public works programs such as drinking water, sanitary and storm sewers, streets and highways, public buildings and grounds, public fleets, and solid waste collection and disposal. And whereas the theme for this year's celebration is the power of public works in 2018 marks the 59th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association, therefore be resolved by myself, Council President John Bialy, I do hereby proclaim the week of May 20th to 26th as Public Works Week in the city of Oakland, New Jersey, and I call upon all citizens and civic leaders in this community to gain knowledge of and maintain a progressive interest in the public works needs and programs vital to our everyday lives, and to recognize the daily contributions which public work officials make to ensure our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. I applaud the Public Works Department, all the guys down there, and if you see a Public Works guy out there working, go over and thank him for his service to our community.
Thank you.
John, excuse me before you go. I've had several people ask me about who is going to replace Rose. I know no one can replace Rose, but I'm just saying, who's going to?
Well, Rich and I are in the process, along with Rose, of interviewing candidates.
Okay.
So we have gone through a couple already.
Okay.
We have a couple more coming up on Friday. So we have our work cut out, because we want to do the best thing for the seniors, and we want to give them somebody who will be dedicated to them, and hopefully will stay with us for a long time.
So this replacement won't be in place by the time Rose leaves, though?
No.
Sandra will be, basically running the day-to-day.
Okay, so you do have somebody there.
Right, on an interim basis, so there'll be somebody there full-time. And I think the plan is to get a selection made in June and have, somebody start hopefully by mid-year, by the beginning of July.
Okay, thank you.
You got him in. Okay. Do you have a committee report? Well,
You want me to go and then?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you go first?
Public events. As the mayor had pointed out, we have the Memorial Day Parade this Sunday coming, June 27th, at, May 27th, excuse me. And it's at 1 p.m. It's a nice thing, but also has, as Councilman Bialy mentioned, just watch the weather. There'll be announcements. We'll let you know.
AM thunderstorms only.
I heard late day and thunderstorms only.
So we'll find out. We're hoping for a wonderful day. Also, public events. The carnival is the 13th to the 16th, and the fireworks are on Friday this year, the 15th. And also, we always need new members. It's a great group of people. We always need more people for the carnival, whether you join the committee we could use some volunteers, and just think about signing up for the public events committee. And then also for the schools, graduation is June 19th. Already we're talking about graduation. I'm not sure, did everyone get their invitations?
Yes.
I already responded.
I responded.
Okay, so June 19th, there will be graduation, and that's it for me.
Councilman?
Yes.
Did you make mention about the advanced sales tickets?
No,
I
sorry.
did.
Yes, there's advanced sale tickets for the carnival. You get, how much are they?
$20 wristbands at Remax.
$20 wristbands. You can get them
Unlimited
at
rights.
Remax. There's a limited amount of them, so if you buy them, once they're gone, they're gone. And it's a good bargain.
I believe you can get them at Borough Hall and at Chaparusso's
Remax.
Remax. Right.
Thank you.
Do you have something?
I do. Okay, I'll make it real quick. By the way, I just attended a beautiful concert down at Valley Middle School with the 6th, 7th, 8th graders. And I got to tell you, when you see these kids perform, that's why we're here in Oakland, and that's why it's such a great place. So I just want to tell the kids they did a wonderful job. Real quick, Rec Commission, we had a meeting yesterday. The camps are getting ready. Fall sports signups are taking place. I believe tonight's the last night for soccer signups. There'll be late registration. Also, softball and baseball are winding down. For OCC, our next meeting is June 4th. Down here, we need volunteers. So if you want to learn how to work some cameras, work the equipment, produce TV, help out with the
Will you
council
find
meeting.
out, we're having a meeting here on June 6th with the police. You don't know if there's going to be anybody to be televised.
Okay, I'll look into that. I'll see what I can find out about that. And also, like I said, the meeting's June 4th, and our next water sewer meeting is June 1st, down at Borough Hall, 8:30, and that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, motion open to the public?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There's nobody here?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bills to be paid, Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. Bills to be paid, $205,398.18. So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Net.
Yes.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman Pinnatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
There motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next meeting will be held here Wednesday, June 13th. However, as you heard earlier, there will be a special meeting here. We don't know if it's going to be televised yet. We have to find out. On June 6th at 7 o'clock. Thank you and have a good night.
All right, so.
We're almost there.
Oh my God.